Black reminds me of the lungs of a smoker. Lungs turn black by the smoke of cigarettes. All that cigarette ash leads to an early cremation. Ashes to ashes, indeed.
Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Deadly Premonition. Last time we completed Spiritual Map A and got the Infinite Submachine Gun, and did a number of side quests. But this time, we're on our way to the community center to get that town meeting going. And we're just about there now. Just cut across this field. And right up here is the gate leading into the community center. We still have plenty of time before the thing actually begins. It's only 13:34 now. And it doesn't begin until 1500. So we were actually early for once. And there's that clock tower that Polly mentioned to us back at the beginning. But since it is so early, there's no one actually here yet. Parking lot's empty. So, all we can really do is wait around, have a smoke until 1500, and get this thing going. And yes, everyone's here. There is a number of people that we've already met and talked to. But there are also some people that we have not spoken to yet. Some people who just have not been available until now. So let's get started.
Greenvale Community Center. Now that's an impressive building. Clock Tower's impressive too. Zach, I haven't been on stage like this since elementary school. I'm not some tree in the wind this time, either. Oh, that was a tough role. I was a piece of scenery. Bright red tree.
Thank you, all, for coming today. Getting right down to business. Agent Morgan, from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, wishes to speak with you.
Good afternoon. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Some of you are already aware by now of the tragic murder of Anna Graham. Truly a heinous, terrible crime. I've come to this town to solve the murder of this young, beautiful girl, and to bring the one responsible to justice. Unfortunately, incidents like these have a tendency to happen again. I asked to have you gathered here so I can share some advice in order to minimize the risk of further fatal incidents. Firstly, please, stay away from any dark, dangerous, isolated places. Those of you with children, especially in Anna's age, please. Secondly, avoid going out when it is raining. Now, I've heard the folklore story. When you go, there is a chance that the murderer is mimicking the story. Women should also be especially careful. I would hate to see more victims
fashionably late one.
That's Carol, Thomas's sister. She owns a bar.
Excuse me. So, as I have said, avoid going outside when it is raining. Young women should be especially careful. Report anything or anyone suspicious immediately. The murderer will be caught and brought to justice. But you must all remain on guard until we do so. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
When paying for our sins, we must not frown. The loss of Anna was for that debt. When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
Sure knows how to steal thunder.
Well then, Zach, let's ask some questions before all these guys leave.
Alright, sounds like a good idea. To speak to the townspeople while they're all in one place.
Agent Morgan, here's your chance to get to know some of the townsfolk. Don't let it go to waste.
Alright, George. We're gonna speak to him. First, I just want to see what it says on this whiteboard. Direct cause of death, loss of blood from the wound. And we have a very, impressively drawn map of the crime scene. I don't know if we really needed a whiteboard at all. Let's talk to Thomas.
Agent York, your words really made me think about Anna's death again. How could one do such a terrible thing? I'm still in shock.
Thomas, I forgot to ask. You don't have a tattoo on your back, do you?
Tattoo? Well, I do, actually. But why?
Could you show it to me, please?
What? Now? Here?
Yes, please. This is vital for our investigation.
Okay, if it's gonna help you any.
Well, I'm wondering who G is now, but aside from that,
Did it tell you anything?
it told me that you didn't kill Anna.
Of course not. What are you saying?
You ought to see that tattoo, Zach. A big heart with an arrow through it and Love G in the center.
I don't know when you got that done, but we've all been through the 80s.
Well, I don't think everyone who's been through the 80s gets a tattoo on their back. It says Love G on it.
Quite a performance. Mysterious and very poetic. But I don't think many of your audience appreciated it.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, the purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain. Find out why the town is soiled. Remove the source from which it boiled. Then and only then your case is solved. But for this to happen, to solve the crime. The problem must do the crime at the proper time. It is not yet mine, that is, Mr. Stewart's time, not mine. But if you, Mr. York, find the right timing to chat with me, that is... See, so says Mr. Stewart.
So, Harry, you know something. But there's some reason why you can't tell me yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Cut the poetic rubbish, Harry, and tell us what you know. We can force you to talk, you know.
Mr. Francis York Moore, pay close attention to the signs, the omens, and the premonitions. Small they may be, they still are finds, and helpful to your investigations. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning, Harry. But don't worry. Me and Zach, we know what we're doing.
Oh, well, York is now just mentioning Zack in front of other people like it's no big deal. Well, looks like someone left their coffee here. Let's just take that. York has no problem drinking other people's half-used coffee.
Agent York, are you finished asking questions yet? When you're done, let me know. We'll all get dinner.
Well, we're not nearly done asking questions. We are done in this auditorium, though, because all of these people don't actually exist. They're just kind of there. We can't talk to them. They don't have names. But behind that wall is Richard and Quint. Let's go talk to them and see what they have to say.
Quint, you're here too. I didn't think you were the town meeting kind of guy.
A friend of mine was killed, you know, man? I'm not letting this one go quietly. I'll do anything to help you catch the scumbag who did this.
Thank you. But vigilance is not justice. Nothing good will come from desiring simple revenge.
Oh, come on, I'm not that stupid. But I'm frustrated a bit just thinking that there's nothing I can do about it.
We each have a role, purpose in life, raison d'etre. Don't forget that.
I know. Just don't preach to me. You're sounding like my old man.
Zach, wow. I'm in shock like a weasel in an electric chair. You just made me realize that I must be getting old.
Well, that can be kind of unsettling.
So, finding your way around okay?
Yes, pretty much. But some people are hard to get along with.
People problems, huh? I thought city folks were used to things like that. There's lots more people in the city than there are here.
Well, that's true. But I started simplifying things a bit. Here's my new way of thinking. It's simple, really. There's only 3 types of people. Criminals, victims, and investigators. Everyone else are just vegetables. Vegetables called other people.
You really are strange.
So I guess those people in the auditorium, they would be vegetables, I suppose. And who's this? Someone we have not met yet. Looks kind of odd.
Good evening, Agent.
Good evening, Mr.
Brian, the gravekeeper. Brian.
Mr. Bryan. I like the retro look. Auditioning for Little Grave on the Prairie?
Anna. Oh, she was so beautiful. Too soon. Too soon to go to the grave. So sad. So sad.
I totally agree. That's why I'm here, looking for the one who did it. Were you close to her?
Anna, her smile, so warm. Anna, blonde hair, so bright.
There's a graveyard somewhere in town, Zach. I'm not excited about the idea, but maybe we should at least check it out.
Oh, I don't see why. I don't see why that fellow would need to be investigated at all. He seemed quite friendly. I pick up this Agent Honor, and over here is Carol, Thomas's sister. Let's have a chat.
Anna was an airhead.
What do you mean? Are you saying she was killed because she was an airhead? Or are you saying that she was an airhead for being killed?
I'm sure she's still an airhead, even in heaven. She changed her hair every day. If she lost a pound, she'd be ecstatic. Gain one, and she'd almost be in tears. She broke many, many plates every day at the diner, and she'd always have a smile on her face. Always having fun. Everyone looked at her and knew she was a cute, adorable, loving airhead. But they would be smiling right along with her. I wouldn't be surprised if the angels smiled with her too.
Isaac and Isaiah said that Anna was a fairy of the forest, a goddess.
Well, that seemed to disturb her. She opened up for a bit to us, but didn't seem to feel very comfortable doing so. They said that she owned a nightclub, so maybe we should pay that a visit later.
So you're the FBI agent, are you?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I'm the general. I fought for my country in the Vietnam War.
A real-life war hero. So why are you living here?
Soldier, this is my hometown. After a man returns from war, there's no place to go other than his hometown. Your little speech, you mentioned the raincoat killer.
Was that a problem?
You imbecile. The raincoat killer's no myth, not mere folklore, not a fairy tale. It's based on actual events that happened in this town.
It is. I'm interested. Can you tell me more about this?
You kids today don't even know how to ask for something right. Soldier, if you want to hear more, you come to my office.
He literally exudes raw power, Zach. Despite the credibility issues, we should give him a visit.
One thing, though. Calls himself a general, but isn't that a sergeant's uniform?
Well, that would seem kind of strange. Hey, look who's here.
Agent York, you make any progress?
Of course, plenty. Tell me, Usha, when is Anna's funeral?
That's still undecided. Sally isn't really in any condition to do it right now.
Her mother? I don't see her here.
Anna was her sole reason for living after her husband was deceased. Well, she's probably huddled up at home.
And I should probably take some time to pay her a visit.
Well, yes, you should. And I'd appreciate it if you could, too. But don't go too hard on her, okay?
That's the game's way of telling you that if you have not paid Sally a visit, maybe you should get around to doing that.
Are you getting closer to catching the murderer?
Hello again, Fiona. Good to see you here.
Well, Dr. Johnson told me to be here. He said it would be important.
Well, that was good advice. He may be young, but he seems like a wise man.
Oh, and he's a very hard-working person, too. Everyone thinks he's some kind of weirdo, but I don't think so at all. People don't understand why he's in the autopsy room all day. but I do. He's doing research to make the world a better place in the future. You know, he already made a fortune in LA with his career.
I did not know that.
You didn't? Oh, the doctor is a very rich man. He has a really big house over by the lake.
Amazing, Zach. You must be loaded. Rich and young. A perfect combination.
But you don't get that feeling from him at all, do you? He doesn't show it. That's one of the things I like best about him.
Well, I could have been fooled if it weren't for you. Thanks for the valuable information, Fiona.
Now, I thought Usha stayed in the autopsy room all day because he was playing that chess program that he's got down there. Looks like DOS Chessmaster or something. Here's someone else who's new.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
Wesley, owner of the gun store called Panda Bear. People around here call me the gunsmith. Was there something you want to ask me?
How do you make a living running a gun store in a place like this? I'd be worried because there can't be that many customers.
Worry gives a small thing a big shadow. I do gunsmith work in my shop, too. If you got the skills, the customers find you. All you need is a network.
I hope so.
Right now, Wesley doesn't have many guns available, but as the game goes on, he will get more in stock.
You've got quite a selection here. No wonder people come from all around.
Even today, a customer paid me to go to Seattle for some help. I just got back.
I see. Well, I'll be sure to visit your store sometime. I'd like for you to take a look at my gun.
Understood. Look forward to it. The shop will be open again tomorrow. It's usually open from 2000 to 0600. See you then.
So if you notice, the hours that his shop is open is from 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. It's not shady at all. It's really the only store that is open all night.
Can you tell me if you noticed anything strange about Anna before the incident?
Well, I'm not sure if this will be of any help, but...
Anything, no matter how small, could be of help.
Well, you see, the diner closes when it rains. Many shops do that around here, as you might have heard. Anyway, Anna always seemed unfocused the day after it rained, and came in late, too. It was almost as if she used up all her energy the day before. Come to think of it, that was really strange. Did that legendary monster really kill her?
It wasn't a monster. Just a criminal. Criminal I'm going to catch and bring to justice.
Alright, Nick. Finally got you out of your kitchen. We are going to show you our badge so hard.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan. I presume you are the owner of the diner that Anna worked at?
That's right.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Anna Graham. Did you notice anything strange about her prior to the incident? Nick, are you hiding something?
No, nothing.
You're sure?
I'm sorry, but I don't like repeating myself.
Well, I don't like that answer at all. I guess Nick's just grumpy because we got him out of his kitchen. But, want to investigate him later, I think. Now look who's here.
Hey, Lily.
Agent York, your speech frightens some of us a little. You should work on being more sensitive with words when talking to groups.
Really? I tried my best to be gentle. So, have you noticed anything strange or out of place recently?
Just Becky, really. She works part-time at the store. She's been acting strange recently.
Strange. How?
I took the boys along to visit her house today. I was just worried, because she hasn't come into work at all after that incident. But she took in the boys and told me to wait outside. Something about a special secret between just the three of them. I just couldn't understand it.
Now that's interesting. Thank you, Lily. Perhaps we should give Becky a visit tomorrow, Zach.
I agree. Becky has been holding out on us, but maybe we can get her to talk about this.
Hey, York! You were rocking it large up there!
Was I? I haven't been on stage like that since elementary school.
You made me think, man, things can't go on like this. We need, some action or something. I was pretty psyched up, before you got on stage. I was like, dude, a real psycho in town. Pretty sweet gig. But now, dude, that lunatic could be any one of us, man. I don't want to think of that whack job coming after my family. Makes me shudder all over, man. It was way too heavy. You'll catch him, right, FBI?
Of course. But you need to be able to take care of those you love, too.
You're right, man. Right on the level. I need to do what's right for my family, man. You lit my soul, man. Thanks, FBI.
I get the feeling that the music going on in Keith's head never stops. A few more people to speak to before we're done. And looks like Polly made it.
Mr. Morgan, you're quite an impressive public speaker.
Really? Thank you, Polly.
You reminded me a little of a play I saw when I was younger.
What kind of play?
I'm talking about back when this place was still called the Mercury Theater. When I was young, I used to come here often with my husband. God rest his soul. We'd come on the weekend to see the latest play. He'd always pretend to be uninterested, but I could tell he was excited inside. He was just one of those kind of guys, really, thinking about it now.
Really, Polly? So what's your favorite play?
Oh, well, I like so many. There was one in particular, but I can't recall the name anymore. Oh, it was a very famous one, too.
Something by Shakespeare?
Oh, no, nothing. One more bell that doesn't ring anymore. I've always been forgetful about the plays we used to see anyway. Oh, and my husband would get angry at me for forgetting what we saw. He'd go on for hours retelling what the play was about. His eyes were so sparkling, like a happy young boy.
I see. So, what's your favorite play?
Oh, I almost forgot, Mr. Morgan. We're going to have another guest soon. I have to get back and get things ready. Sorry for having to hurry away. I'll see you back at the hotel.
Zach, I think she could embarrass the toughest of the FBI's interrogators. She successfully avoided answering my questions, Zach. Amazing.
Well, that conversation went as usual when we talked to Polly.
Oh my pot is getting cold. Hey, mister, my pot is getting cold.
You are... who?
What are you saying? I'm Sigourney. Sigourney.
Sigourney. Okay. Now, what is the matter? Can you explain?
No time for chatting. I need to hurry. My pot is getting colder. Oh, you're useless.
Zach, we've met all sorts today, but really, she takes the cake. Amazing.
Well, I guess we better end this town meeting soon, because we wouldn't want her pot getting cold. Just a few more people to talk to. Here's Jim.
Jim, thanks for your help in the forest. How are Isaac and Isaiah?
They're fine.
They really seem to love their grandpa.
Well, I guess they do, son. I want to keep them away from the filth of the material world as much as I can. Their mother agrees, which is why she lets me take care of them so often.
And that's why I want you to solve this case quickly and go home. Those rumors about that scar of yours do more damage than good around here.
I guess I reek of the material world, don't I? I have to, in order to do my job. But I understand what you mean.
I'd think the same if I was born in a place like this, Zach.
I can understand all that, but I mean, look who you're sitting next to, Jim.
Hello again, Agent York. How are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good today.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you have any information that could help me out?
Information? Sounds difficult and not my kind of conversation. Anyways, you should come by the gas stand again. I'll give you the best service in town.
Zach, perhaps you can tell me. Why did she bother coming here?
No, I can't answer that question either, York.
I've nothing to say to you.
I haven't asked you anything yet, Jack.
Shut it! I might open up if you introduce me to, I don't know, a Ben Franklin or two.
Oh, what a creature. Guess there's always someone like him in every town.
Agent Morgan, I'd like to let everyone go home now. Let's go outside.
And the chapter is complete. So, we've done the town meeting, and now we've met all of the residents of Greenvale. So perhaps this can help us focus the investigation on any characters that might be particularly suspicious.
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plans for this evening?
I was going to head back to the hotel and go over my notes. I need to contact HQ and give a progress report, too.
Okay, and let's call it a day here.
Sounds good.
Contact my office when you finish your report. We'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Diane, the owner of the art gallery, should be back soon.
All right, then. Let's do that.
Hold on, Agent York. We're going out to eat at Nick's Diner. Would you like to come with us?
The diner. That might be nice.
Thomas is a great cook, but Nick is the real deal. No visit to Greenvale is complete without eating at the A&G.
A very appealing proposition. Zach, what do you think? We can always go back to the hotel after eating dinner, or go directly back to the hotel. You decide, Zach.
Yeah, let's eat dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sheriff here for a long time now, and this is the worst murder I've ever seen.
Our town is a little odd in some ways, but it's usually a peaceful place.
We had our fair share of cases, but just the regular stuff. A high school kid shoplifting from the milk barn, maybe, or some hot-headed kids fighting, fueled on liquor. Nothing more than that.
Agent York, what kind of cases have you dealt with in the past?
Not much different from those you've just mentioned. The case I was on until last month, well, the guy killed 7 girls in a 3-month period. He sawed their heads off from the neck and took them back to his house. He cleaned the skulls up and used them as utensils in his daily life, to eat from or as a urine cup. He hated women. That was his way of dealing with it. He'd fill skulls with ice, cola, and rum, then he'd down it in one gulp. For him, that was a holy ritual. The question of his mental state was the pivotal point in the court case.
Oh, man.
For me, he was insane. 100%. Drinking from the skulls, well, that is one thing. But those he had used to relieve himself, he would then just use them to drink from, too. Yeah, that was too much for me. It's just not sanitary.
Not sanitary. That's probably not the problem for most of us.
What else? Ah, yes. An ingenious law school student raped over 800 victims. That was a nasty one.
Thank you, Agent York. Now, let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear any more? That's a shame, isn't it, Zach? I was just about to get to the good part, too.
It sounds like you live in a totally different world. I mean, you're like an elite agent who just jumped out from a movie or something. In your eyes, we must look like we're just playing cops and robbers. I give up. I can't compete with you.
Don't say that, Emily. The cases you have solved are all full-fledged crimes. A crime is a crime. Size doesn't matter. There is no big and small. Crimes always have a criminal and a victim. No victim will ever welcome a crime, no matter what its size. So, fundamentally, there is no difference in size.
Well said, Agent Morgan. We work day and night to preserve peace and order in this town. You understand that, right?
Of course. But still, I don't view shoplifting and Anna's murder as the same level of crime.
Me neither. I never even dreamt that such a thing could ever even happen in this town. I keep on expecting to see Anna here in this diner, waiting on tables.
Excuse us, Agent Morgan. We should have made dinner a more uplifting experience. Let's call it a night.
Okay. Good night, then.
We haven't really been doing a good job of solving this one quickly. Looks like we were out quite late eating dinner. It's 22:30 right now, which means just about everything is going to be closed. Not much else to do, except just go back to the hotel and have York work on his notes like he said he was going to do. I mean, we could pay Wesley the gunsmith a visit since his shop is open all night, but not much point to doing it right now. So, as I said before, now that we've been to the town meeting and we've met all the residents, now we have an idea of perhaps who she would be speaking to.
Just my imagination.
Nick definitely was not happy to be there, so perhaps that's something that could be explored. George did say that we would be paying the art gallery a visit tomorrow, since the proprietor, Diane, is supposed to be back. So she was not at the town meeting. George and Emily felt that perhaps of all the women in the town, maybe she would be the one most likely to wear high heels out in the forest setting, so we have not met her yet. Of course, we did notice that Carol was wearing high heels herself. So we don't yet know who Miss Stiletto Heels was. Someday I'm gonna get that curve right. But okay, here we are back at the hotel, so let's finish up our duties for the day.
Okay then, Zach. Let's go back over our progress. First, the victim, Anna's death. She was found hanging from a tree in the forest. She was cut open with a knife from her chest down to her stomach. That was the direct cause of death. The strangulation marks and skull fracture were caused after death. Her tongue was also bit off, and I found something inside her mouth. Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Sure, it was a red seed, just like the ones that York has.
That's right. We found the same red seed in her mouth. According to Emily, it was raining when Anna was killed, but traces of tears were still evident on her face. Which means the perpetrator killed Anna under a roof in a lumber mill, and then carried her body into the woods after it stopped raining. We found numerous important pieces of evidence at the site of the crime. A total of 4 things. Knee prints in the grass, wood chip with metal dust, a photo of a man with a tattoo on his back. One other thing. Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Of course, it was the shoe with the broken heel.
That's right, a broken stiletto heel. Combining this with the other evidence suggests that 2 people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being the perpetrator who killed Anna and Miss Stiletto Heel. There is also the possibility that a third party carried Anna to the woods. That means we could be dealing with 3 people. 2 or 3 people. In any case, Miss Stiletto Heel may have vital information. We need to find her next. We didn't use forensic methods, but we're still closing in on the criminal. Have I forgotten anything?
Ah, of course. The marks on her hand tell us that Anna was gripping something when she died. Do you remember that, Zach?
What do you think she was holding on to?
Well, we had established that it was a round object.
That's right. A round object. The marks on her hand suggest a peace mark. The man in the photo found in the woods had a tattoo of an upside-down peace mark on his back. These 2 could well be related. But we don't know for sure. Next, the townfolk. A few are worthy of special attention. Carol McLean, the singer and bar owner. She's Thomas's sister. Then there's Nick Cormack, the owner of the diner. Both of them seem to be hiding something. There's Diane, the owner of the art gallery, who's out of town. Then we have problematic, old, rich, and eccentric Harry. Both will be tough to crack. Well, we just have to go one by one. I've been thinking, one of the biggest rewards here is the fantastic food. Enjoying food is cultural, and yet it's also a bit uncivilized. It's interesting how good food motivates me to work harder during investigations.
Oh, and on Emily's back, it was strange to me. Hey, don't take that the wrong way, Zach. I wasn't getting all excited or anything. But it did make me feel strange. Nostalgic and sad almost.
It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while.
And as chapter dinner ends, not only the chapter, but episode 2 of the game has ended as well. So as we go into episode 3, York has determined that people of special interest will be Nick, Carol, Diane, and Harry. So we'll be visiting Diane at the art gallery. See you next time.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? We need to be at the community center by 1500 today. Just think of talking in front of all those people. What do you think, Zach? It's going to get fun.
Yes.